All right. Okay, guys. Wrong button. Yes. Is this thing on? Let me know, guys, if there's any buffering in the stream. Vec Killers says, okay, live now. Stuart Ellis is saying, oh, yes. I guess it's dropping frames, guys. Again, I don't know what to do. And we're back. Hopefully this works. It says it's working, or you guys are saying it's working, but it's still saying dropped frames detected 65% a few seconds ago. Sounds good, says defend. I don't... Seems fine. So far, so good. People say, okay, all right, all good. Even though it says it's still dropping frames, I guess it's all good. Okay. All right, so people are saying it's okay. Okay, so I guess we could go ahead and get started. All right. Okay, I don't know. We're probably going to have problems today. I don't know why, but we're probably going to have some problems today. But thank you guys for coming out to the show, and we're going to... this is going to be a subcast. The audio is good. That is the most important. Okay, live again, back now. Okay, what is up, guys? Dave Langer, Remedy K, Gupuro, Mike Tracy. Oh, we got a lot of Cobros here, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things about No Man's Sky Beyond. And we're going to be talking about some of the negative things that are out there, even from the fans. We're going to be bringing some of that stuff up because there's always a silver lining, something to keep in mind, even though that you don't own a VR or something for PSVR or Oculus Rift or HTC Vive or something like that. But most importantly, guys, we're going to have you guys come on the show. There is a link down below, a Discord link. And if you join our Discord, the Discord is open. You can go into the Discord, and there is a voice room over to the left-hand side called Atlas 102.5 FM. That is where people sit in there and they have, they have their own, conversations in there while they're waiting to get onto the subcast. And then I pull you guys down into the room and get you on the show. And that is what this show is here for. I wouldn't be able to do it just by myself. I don't have the brain capacity to do a podcast for an hour or more with just my own thoughts. So you guys are the stars of the show. So you guys come on and say whatever you want to say, whether it's that you don't like VR or that you can't wait to play this in VR. But we got a few things I want to talk about just before we start having people come on to the show. I do want to give out a statement that right along with flat earthers, I don't want flat earthers messaging me about flat earth. It enrages me. Okay, so no adding me about flat earthers on Twitter. And also the other people that are now going to be put into the group with the flat earthers are the people asking for the E3 trailers. I see people still 3 years later saying they want the E3 trailers. So let me say something to the E3 trailer wanters out there. If you want that, I am really, really happy that you are not working at Hello Games. Because if you take a look at the game now versus those old trailers, and you want that over what we have now, then have a seat over there in the stadium with the flat earthers. Just sit over there. Because I wouldn't trade what we have now for those E3 trailers for anything. No Man's Sky has not only fulfilled their promise about not, in 2014 stating that they weren't going to be done with the game when it shipped, but they were going to be working on it for a long time, but they fulfilled the promise of all the updates, through all the updates of everything that they've ever said, plus Hello Games has overpromised. All right? They have overpromised at this point. Does it still need things? Oh, yeah. All right? So I'm a critic as much as I am a fan. And they are working on it. Free update after free update after free update. AAA devs can actually learn a thing or two from, not devs, but the companies. The AAA market could definitely learn a thing or two from Hello Games. So let's see. Oh gosh, Cobra, the pre-release mic. Pre-release mic. So, just stop messaging me about that kind of stuff. I just, just stop it. All right, stop. So we're going to talk a little bit about VR tonight. I'm going to have you guys come on the show so you guys can talk about it. We're going to also be talking about the No Man's Sky Online and what the possible number 3 could possibly be. And we're going to take a look at the silver lining with VR. But first, I do want to talk a little bit about a story. This is a real story that I had here recently with some cashier at a gas station. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. But I go into this gas station. And I'm a nerd, right? I'm a nerd. I know a lot of you guys are probably nerds, and that's not even a bad thing to say to anybody anymore. But when I was a kid, boy, was being called a nerd a bad thing. How times have changed, huh? Well, I am a nerd. And, there's all these pictures of the stereotypical textbook nerd, right? The pants up real high with the belt and the suspenders and things like that. That's like a stereotype, whatever. But a poster child. Anyways, I literally met one of those guys who was just like me, but dressed dramatically different than I do. Not only that, this guy looks like he just walked off a movie set. This guy looks like he just walked right out of a J.J. Abrams dressing room for a movie. And he had the pants pulled up real high. He's a cashier, and he had this flannel on, right? He had a flannel, and he had these big black glasses. I know, the stereotypical type. We got a donation from Stubborn Ninja. Thank you so much, buddy. Hashtag that Cobra in the chat. And I'm getting somewhere with this. This is kind of funny. So he had a flannel on, and he had this big name badge, and written in all caps with a blue Sharpie, it said Sean. Now couple that with like, this dude looks like he would be hanging out with us 100%, right? But couple that with it saying Sean and him having a flannel on. I wanted to joke a little bit about how he looks like our Lord and Savior Sean Murray. So I asked him, I said, do you know who Sean Murray is? And he said, name sounds familiar. And I'm like, well, lead developer for No Man's Sky. And he goes, oh, No Man's Sky. Immediately goes into saying, I was quite disappointed with the lies with No Man's Sky. I'm like, well, wait, you're one of those? And he just stared at me like, one of what? And I'm like, well, and he goes, before I could even respond to, he says, I said, do yourself a favor and check out the game now. It's dramatically different. And he goes, oh, I've heard that they've added quite a bit to it. He goes, I won't check it out though, but I will check out No Man's Sky 2. And I said, 2? I said, there's no No Man's Sky 2. And he said, oh yeah, I seen it. It's being posted everywhere on the internet here recently. And I said, no, there's no. I said, trust me, I would know. Me of all people would know. There's no No Man's Sky 2. And he argued with me. So we're not dropping frames anymore. Okay, so he he argued with me, and then I ended up just so that I wouldn't be that type of person to sit there and keep arguing or have to get out the phone and say, hey Siri, look up I just left, right? And as I'm walking out the door, I can't be sure, but it sounded to me like the guy who was behind me said, what did he say? He said, I've seen it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Byond is so significant. It is making such a splash and it's such a big update that the people, the Never No Man's Skyers, the Never Explorers, think that this is No Man's Sky 2. that they haven't looked back, but the news of this is so viral that it's in their feed, and they see it and automatically assume that it's No Man's Sky 2. I just wanted to tell you that story so that way we can sit back and look at this and see how dramatically this game has changed. How drastically this game has changed. And that, so are we cutting out anymore? Because I just got a, I just got a comment from somebody saying, shitty broadcast, you keep cutting out. Kyle Culver says the nerd has been sniffing too much diesel or something. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, No Man's Sky still has the opportunity to sell so many more copies, especially the people who once were excited and then were disappointed, and now they're seeing this and they think it's No Man's Sky 2. So this might be exactly what people need. They might need to think that this is No Man's Sky 2 for them to take another look finally. Platitude Platypus has donated to Super Chat saying beyond comprehension. That is so right. Okay, so Dave Wilson says he's on his cell phone and everything's all right. Well, I just thought it was a funny story. Somebody, this is making such a splash that people think this is an actual sequel to No Man's Sky, which I don't even think is something we're ever going to get because we've already got the universe. It just needs to be added to forever, right? Or not forever, but next gen comes out and we get it remastered and we get things with the new hardware that we've gotten, the new technology, things can get added to it, and updated even still. I don't see No Man's Sky being officially done in Sean Murray's eyes for years to come. I could be wrong, but if technology advances and you're Sean Murray and now you could do so much more, why not continue? So I also do want to, we're going to be taking callers here in a second here, but I want to bring up also, a lot of people are pretty upset that VR is included in this update. Whoops, wrong button. That VR is included in this update, and that the other one is No Man's Sky Online. We don't know what number 3 is. So that's important to realize that we don't know what 3 is. It could be... think about what could be added to the game other than a big, gigantic improvement to No Man's Sky Online. Alan Poe, thank you so much for the donation. Says that guy sounds like the type who shouldn't be allowed any discussion besides Super Salad. No, for real though, the guy kind of looks like someone that would definitely hang out with us, right? Like someone that can get along. But a lot of people get sucked into the, I guess you'd call gaming mainstream media, to where they listen to everything that IGN and the No say, especially the No. They were the worst persecutors of No Man's Sky, if you want to say, just because they got a content strike on accident by a bot when the game was released. But I think he's just misguided a little bit. He liked No Man's Sky initially enough to pre-order it, which is a mistake there. I mean, if you guys want to pre-order, that's your deal. I did pre-order No Man's Sky, and it is also the last game that I'll ever pre-order, not because I don't trust Hello Games, but because if we're going to send a message to the broken industry that the gaming is, we've got to stop pre-ordering games. We got to do this wait, watch, buy thing. Wait for it to come out. Don't pre-order. Watch somebody who did and see how mad they are or how pleased they are, and look at the gameplay yourself. That's the watch part. And then if it's something that you still like, then go out and buy. If we hold the gaming industry to that standard, they would have to release top shelf products. But wait, watch, buy. That's my thing. Apparently the No doesn't exist anymore. It's called Inside Gaming now. Well, the No shut down It says Space Buddha. Okay, so the no, get out of here. All right, yeah. It's probably, is it the same people though? Same writers? Because the writers is what the problem was. Okay, so a lot of people are really upset about the VR part because a lot of people still do not have VR. To me, a while back, I wanted VR to be added to No Man's Sky, but at the same time, I wasn't excited about it. Cool, yeah, sure, add VR to it. That's amazing. But I didn't understand how important it was until recently, after I bought a PSVR, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's what it means to people who don't have VR and don't want it or can't play it because of motion sickness or whatever. Do you realize how much they've had to optimize the game in order for VR to work? Do you realize the frame rate that No Man's Sky has got to run for VR to even work? And not only that, putting a VR on your head, I mean, this is going to benefit everybody, VR owners and non-VR owners. The game is going to be, it's going to run so much better than it ever has. It has to for VR to work. It has to, okay? They have had to optimize this game through the roof for VR to work. So if you don't own VR, you're going to experience a game that plays a lot better than what you're used to. You're going to notice a difference, believe me. With that being said, there are so many things that you have to do to VR to make it work in VR, because it's not like you're just putting a flat screen on your eyes and just be able to look left and right, up and down and behind you. Things in VR have depth. So things look like they are really close. They are, or like if you're imagine standing on a planet and there's this bush in front of you. It really looks like it's in front of you. It's not like it looks like on your TV screen. And when you see VR videos on YouTube, you can't see what the VR guy is seeing. You're seeing what you're used to seeing. It doesn't look like that with a VR. It looks completely different. We got Geek on Geek Media. Great show. Can't wait for multiplayer in VR. Miranda and Odin. Thank you so much, Geek on Geek. Thank you, buddy. And I can't wait either. I'll read the chat here in a second, guys. I'm so sorry. So I used to be one of those people, like, what's so special about VR? Just so what? You can turn your head? It's more than that. I have seen images in VR that I didn't know were even possible images to see even in real life. And I know that's hard to imagine. I know it's difficult. It sounds stupid to even say it. But I can't explain it. It looks so different, so weird, and so amazing that when I go back and I try and remember what I've seen, I can't even picture it in my mind the way that I've seen it in VR. That's how different it is. And that's how much they've had to optimize this game. Oh, sorry about that. We got a donation from Seakite saying, "Hi, Cobra." What is up, Seakite? How you doing, buddy? So, VR being added to this game I'm without words, guys. I'm without words on how it's going to affect the actual VR gameplay and how it's going to affect people who don't even own it are going to benefit from the optimization that they had to go through to make it work in VR. And let's see. Let's take a look at the chat here. We've got VR is amazing from CX Tyler, so it's really worth it not to buy. Yes, it is worth. Look, okay. Put it this way. I have a PSVR, which is like probably the lowest grade of VR headsets. You know, you got Oculus, you got HTC Vive, and things like that, which I know are 100% way better than PSVR. And the PSVR that I've had, the experiences that I've had, have blown me away. I mean, you're really, like, I was an idiot sitting there on the couch going, oh my God, look at that, reaching out for things, and then it feeling weird that I couldn't touch it. It really felt weird. It's not just that, oh, it puts you in the cockpit. No, you feel like you're in the cockpit. And you got the hum of there was a game I was playing when I was in like this tank, and I was in this massive cockpit, and the hum of the machine that was running this tank, and the dim lights. It was all in the dark, and I had all these monitors all around me. It really felt like I was there, like in an actual reality. The only thing that made me not realize I was there is that I'm an intelligent human being and I know I'm sitting on a couch. But yes, it is 100% worth it. Dave Langer says, if Pillar 3 does not add in more variety, an example, animals, planets, ships, etc., then VR is really pointless since you have still nothing to do but just in VR. No, I know where you're coming from, Dave Langer. But at the same time, it's been optimized beyond, I think, what we can imagine for it to at least even be considered running on PS or VR. So there's definitely going to be an improvement that is going to be noticeable. The other one is No Man's Sky Online. A lot of people are upset about that because a lot of people don't want to play online. I think, and when multiplayer was added to No Man's Sky, that was refreshing. And I've always been on the side where it's not that interesting. Yeah, we could play together finally. But I liked it so much better when not because we were orbs, but back when we were orbs, we had to fight to travel to get to each other. We had to do a lot of work. We had to travel. And this whole jumping in on friends, do I use it? Yes, I do. I use it because it's there. But I don't like it. I would much rather have the journey. I want explorers to be something that is explored. I want to be able to scan you and say units received when I scan you. So I'm really happy to see that No Man's Sky Online is going to be improved. I mean, what I want probably won't happen. But I'm definitely interested in seeing what they're going to do. Now think about the updates. No Man's Sky Online, some people don't want it. No Man's Sky Virtual Reality, some people don't have it or don't want it. And if it's the don't want part and not the don't have or can't get, do yourself a favor and find somebody that's got one, that has one, and go use it. I don't care what you got to do. Go to one of those places to have it on display and take your time and use it. Go to your friend's house, use it. That's the only way to sell VR, because it's such a difference in experience that you can't advertise for it, really. The only way you could advertise is showing people's expressions when they're witnessing what VR is. And that's why most of the commercials show some weird guy sitting there with a shocked look on his face like you see on the screen right now. That's the only way to sell it, because it's so hard to describe what the experience is like. All right, so let's see. What else we have on the list here? But now, Dave Langer, I agree. Judging by the VR trailer, do you think that it's VR running on the current build? That's a good question, Dave Langer. That is a darn good question, because the thing with that is, see if we can find. See, if you look there, it doesn't look like there's been much added to the game as far as variation or texture or graphic improvements, because it looks the same, right? That snowy planet with the trees. There's not big forests right there. You know what I mean? It looks exactly the same. And let's see. Let's go back to here. And we've got this little guy, this little alien with the blades on the top of his back. I've seen that guy, right? I've seen that alien, and here I am seeing it in a new trailer. It's possible that they did not include. This could be just the VR update to the current build of the game. At least that's what I'm hoping. So maybe they did that so that way we don't see what the third one is too early. We got a donation from KJPC Gaming. So thrilled for the new update. Best game company ever. Hello Games. I agree, buddy. Thank you so much, KJPC. Thank you. So yeah, Dave. Yeah, it does not look any different as far as graphics, textures, things like that. But again, this could be the VR update running on current build and not have what 3 is. Because I am hoping that 3, think about what's left, okay? Nobody care. A lot of people don't care about online. A lot of people don't care about VR. What's left? What's left? Let's take a look at that picture. Replace Swords with full character models, No Man's Sky Online. Larger multiplayer lobbies, No Man's Sky Online. VR support, No Man's Sky VR. What do we have left? More depth and variety to NPCs. More base building depth. And then you got the other 2 little ones. Quality of improvements and polish of existing features. Stranger, more varied planets. I kind of speculated that that was Visions, but maybe it wasn't. Right? Maybe that's not Visions. So the other 3 that we're looking at on this list is more depth and variety to PCs, NPCs, more base building depth, and possibly stranger, more varied planets. So with that in mind, we could be looking at number 3 being number 3 has got, it's not about online, it's not about VR, so it's got to be about the other things that we care about. Right? I mean, what else could 3 possibly be? Stuart Ellis, thank you so much for the donation. He says, cockpits in VR are mind-blowing. First person walking forward makes me feel sick, however. I hope I can get my brain used to that. This game is what VR was made for. That's true. Very true. No Man's Sky Adventure says NPC variety, make them move, and home worlds, add them to exocrafts. Well, what's important is what you guys think, and we're gonna get you guys here on, we're gonna get you guys on the call here. And if you come in and maybe chat with somebody who's got a VR, don't take my word for it. I could be shilling for Sony. I'm not though. I think I've bought 2 games in 2019, 3 games, maybe 2 games in 2018. So I wouldn't be a good shill for Sony. So I guess we can go ahead and open up the lines, get people on the call, get people on the show. Let's see, where are the right buttons to push? Oh my goodness, there's so many people in there. Okay, so I'm going into the Atlas room. We're going to get Stubborn Ninja on the call. Stubborn Ninja.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Let me kill this stream. Okay, I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. There's a lot of people to get on the show today.
Yeah. All right, so you said something about you being a PS4 show. I know you're not. But, let me start off with saying that I am probably the biggest VR shill in the NMS community, so don't take my word for it. Hopefully we can get some other people in here, but dude, I cannot wait for No Man's Sky VR.
I can't either. I can't either. Let's, there's a lot of questions about VR that I really want to talk about. So there is, like, if you watch the trailer, one of the first things that stood out to me was the,
dude, I can already tell you that trailer is CG. They can't get the build running. It's either running on they took the assets from the game right now, from Visions right now, and recreated a trailer. because I don't see it running on the current build, and I don't see them showing us the build for Byond. You know what I mean? And showing because I'm almost certain third component has something to deal with Planet Generation, so I think that's trailer's just CG.
What I think is weird is, let's go ahead and read the. Well, it looks like there's a. It looks like they almost recreated the Thrustmaster, right? The PS4 HOTAS. It looks like they recreated it. But in the where is it? Grab the joystick and thruster to fly your starship over an unexplored alien planet as you peer out of the cockpit at the view below. Reach into your backpack, it says, to grab your multi-tool. Touch it to switch to terrain manipulation and carve out intricate shapes with unprecedented control. They are re-releasing No Man's Sky yet again.
I'm gonna buy it.
I'm buying it.
I think it's only for PS4. Is that that's what I understood from their statement. I don't think we're gonna get another Xbox edition. It's probably because we got the edition last year. And
I wonder why. I wonder if so it says No Man's Sky virtual reality, like all the parts of Byond, will be free to existing players. However, we're excited to announce that the release of Byond will see an exclusive retail release of the game on PlayStation 4. Could this be a bundle?
You know what? I think that would actually be a really good idea. To be honest with you, 2 years ago, I would have said this would have been the killer app for VR, and I still think it is. I think 2 years ago it was really Skyrim VR, you know what I mean, leading into this, getting this hype in. This is seriously what's going to sell VR, and I think a bundle is really a good idea between Sony and HG. So I would not be surprised if this is a bundle.
I agree. Big Noxy, how you doing, buddy? Noah, thank you so much for the donation on Super Chat, saying, of course they announced VR right after I sold my PSVR. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, listen to that, though. Reach into your backpack. This is a silly thought. But do you think that maybe there's, like, a way that we can... Because, okay, when I'm looking at the trailer... And you can see that it's obviously PS4 move controllers, and they even say it too in the blog. But when you look at when he's in his cockpit and he goes to grab his thruster and his joystick, the hands stick to it and they don't shake.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was going to say they snap onto the
exactly
the Thrustmaster there.
So can that be as simple as something like putting down your move controllers and grabbing your HOTAS?
See, that's what's got me questioning. I don't know if there's been a game that's done this before that supports HOTAS. You know what I mean? They either support... I think Ace Combat 7 supports the HOTAS, but they don't support move controllers and vice versa. I haven't seen a game that does both, so I don't know if they'll have HOTAS support. They definitely have move support, you know what I mean? I think that they're going to focus on move and DualShock controller support, because I don't see them not doing DualShock controller support, but you know what I mean? I don't know for sure about that HOTAS. You know what I mean? That would be really cool, but I'm not sure.
It's so odd that it's designed exactly like it, though. The cockpit. It looks just like
exactly.
It's so weird.
Exactly. You pull up a picture, put up a picture of it right beside the, you know what I mean, shot in the trailer and that, so other people can see real quick.
Oh, I did in a previous video. I'd have to look for another picture again. I'd do live Googling, but you know, the whole hand snapping to it is what confuses me, because you know I played with the move controllers and things like that, and it's really shaky. You know, the hand movements and stuff like that. I really prefer using a DualShock myself over the move controllers. I don't know why. It just seems I don't know. It's just weird. But
do you think? I have a question for you then, Cobra. Do you think this game will be the first game that you actively use move controllers, or no? You're probably just going to stay with the DualShock.
If I can use a DualShock, I'm going to stick with the DualShock.
Okay. I don't see them not adding DualShock support. So for whoever is like Cobra, I used to have that phase. You know what I mean, where I didn't enjoy the move controllers, partly because they were uncomfortable at first. But I got used to them. In fact, I made a mod where I could let go of them. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, the Knuckles controllers that are coming out for VR, where it's just your hands is floating, just like it would like if you weren't grabbing anything, you know what I mean? And then when you picked something up, you could grab it.
My kitty says it's because I'm old. I will agree with you there. I think, yeah, I'm old and I'm lazy. I just want to sit down on my bum and use the controller and just look around with my head. Yeah, I will agree with you, my kitty. I'm old, but you forgot lazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I see it. I see that happening. I think a lot of people are lazy and just want the flat screen mode. You know what I mean? I think people want a VR headset strapped to their head, but they don't want move controllers. You know what I mean? Just because it's a game, you don't want to get into it. Some of us want this full immersion, and I think Hello Games knows that. You know what I mean? I think they have.
Maybe this will be the game that makes me realize how cool the move controllers are. You know, because I will try it. You know, especially if it's like, you know, this says reach into your backpack. Like, what if there's some kind of cool bundle where you can have like this thing where you can attach your move controllers to your side, you know, and then it's literally reach around, grab your move controller, and then that's how you grab your multi-tool, like for real, like they say.
Yeah. I find myself just dropping my controller, sometimes lifting up my headset and either checking my smartwatch or texting someone back on my phone. You know what I mean? I find myself just dropping the controllers with the wrist straps on. So I don't think that's really, you know what I mean, a problem to strap them to the side. But that I bet someone has done that before. You know what I mean? For a game that does do that.
Right.
I don't know. There's so many things that we don't know right now that you can get into speculating. And honestly, Byond has been much more vague in their details. They've given us a lot more details compared to what they did last year with Next. And it's been much more vague. You know what I mean? And
correct.
It's just odd.
Okay, so what we're going to do, since we have a big waiting room here, and what I'm going to...
I got to go in 10 minutes. Get people in here, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to start stacking people up. So if you're listening to the call and you're waiting in... Atlas, I'm just gonna come on, have you introduce you, and you say a few things, and then I'm gonna add somebody else. Then we'll have a big group in here, and we can talk about some things. If you are on mute in the room, I'm gonna pick people who are not muted first, because I don't know who got in there first. So we're gonna get Vargul on.
Before you start bringing people in, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and bow out because I got to get ready for church here. Guys, give Cobra some love. Go give him a sub or a like on this video. Go support him. Man, I would love to see you bring back the daily subcast somehow if you could.
I was actually thinking about that today. Yeah. I was actually pondering that.
I think we all would. I got in there discussing with the guys on the subcast room, the waiting room, about that. We kind of missed that, and we're kind of excited to hopefully see that this year. So guys, give him some love, show him some love, and let's see if we can make that happen.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that, Stubborn Ninja.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna bow out. I'll talk to you probably sometime within the next week.
All right, buddy. I'll take care, man.
Yeah, you too.
We got Vargul on the call. Vargul, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can you hear me okay?
You sound like you're underwater.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay. And we also got Panda Poopy. Panda Poopy's in here. What's up, Panda? I mean, Panda Poopy. I don't know. Do you like being called Panda Poopy?
Just Panda.
Okay, Panda. Sorry. Panda, what's up?
Not much, man. Just happy to see that you do a subcast on a day I'm actually off.
That's awesome, dude. So, are you a PSVR owner or VR owner at all?
I am. I actually did a video today about some speculation regarding that and why I think VR is actually essential to add to No Man's Sky, and I've been saying that for a long time, actually, both on your show and on my own live streams.
I predict that this game is going to be what makes pushes people into finally buying PSVR or VR.
I agree. If you look at the sales numbers, PlayStation VR has sold, as of the 3rd of March, 4.2 million copies. That's not a small amount of people owning VR, but there's just not a lot of games to play on VR, not full experiences. they're usually little short mini games or side things that are built into other games. So No Man's Sky will be the first fully explorable, fully open sandbox style game that is blending the VR experience with players who are not playing in VR, as well as other VR players. So PlayStation VR is already selling really well. It's going to sell even better, and it's going to introduce a lot of people to No Man's Sky, because a lot of PlayStation VR owners who may not try No Man's Sky are now going to try it. And go ahead.
Well, what about, like, there's a couple of games out there that are full. Skyrim VR, isn't that the full experience?
It's a full experience, but the controls, the way that you move, aim, and explore the map is really clunky.
Same with Borderlands 2 as well. Like, it's really odd how you have to use the controls for that game as well.
Or like Doom, where it's like a point and click kind of thing. Or like,
I hate that. I hate that.
Loading human, yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a big blockbuster for VR. Big blockbuster.
I agree. I also in the video, which I posted just before you went live, actually, and me and you are on the same page, which I find interesting. I also believe that the VR demonstration that we saw, because on the No Man's Sky website, it says that VR will be accessible in all game modes. So for those on PC that can load up No Man's Sky in the different versions, they can also activate VR in all of those versions also.
Right.
So I also believe that the footage we saw was in Next and not in Byond. And they did that specifically so we don't see what the third feature of Byond is about.
I 100% agree with you. Sean, with Sean Murray teasing us, 1 is No Man's Sky Online, 2 is question mark, 3 is question mark, and then all of a sudden we get a trailer with the VR, and he doesn't want us to know what 3 is yet because he had not announced it, so he's not going to show anything in that trailer that can let us guess what 3 is at this point in time. You're 100% right. So a lot of people that are worried that 1, I don't want, 2, I don't have, and 3, this update doesn't seem as big as what I thought. I think 3 is going to be significant. So significant, there is a Sam Swain, who we always talk about here on the Subcast, says, aha, now I could talk about what I've been working on since Xbox version. Now, I don't think Sam Swain had anything to do with the VR. He just retweeted the trailer. Byond. Maybe it's VR, maybe not. I don't know. But whatever Sam Swain was working on, he's going to have his essence inside Byond. So,
well, Sam Swain's apparence was about procedural buildings,
right,
and dungeons. So if you think about like what was said in the teaser, Sean Murray or the teaser or the language, like the blog post, said that Byond was going to create a new way for players to get together throughout the No Man's Sky universe. So I think that has to do with Sam Swain in terms of the procedural cities, maybe hub planets sort of thing, exactly. Space stations or whatever. Also, if you think about it, in the trailer, the initial teaser trailer for Byond, that space station or wherever that character is looks completely revamped and new. But if you look at the VR demo, the space station that the ship flies out of looks like the one we always see. So that to me is the big indicator that we're looking at Next footage, not Byond footage.
Exactly. We got a donation from Stuart Ellis saying, I wonder if the number 3 portion will need another universe reset. I hope, and that sounds kind of weird to hope that we have everything get reset on us, but the reason why I hope it's going to be reset is because every time we got a reset, a universe reset, there's been a significant change to the game that's been amazing. So, yes, I hope that number 3 will need a universe reset. Vargul, what's up, buddy?
Hey, am I coming through better now, man?
Perfect, crystal clear, man.
I had my Bluetooth earbud in, and I don't think I had it turned up all the way, so I
see. So how you doing, man? What's on your mind?
Dude, all the excitement. Oh,
I know.
Hype, man. Oh, my goodness, dude. And I thought it was bad when multiplayer online was announced, man. My anxiety is through the ceiling right now.
Yeah, mine too. And speaking of anxiety, Panda and Curtis, I am meeting my very first member of the Cobra TV audience. He's traveling with the band Crazy Town. He's on tour, and he's coming. They're passing right through our town to play at a concert hall here in Ohio. So I'm going to be meeting up with him on Saturday, and he's asked me for my autograph. But you know what? I'm going to get his.
Yeah. That's badass, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Yes, so there's a little bit of anxiety there because where we're going is where Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was shot. So a little bit of anxiety going into a public place like that. But I can't wait to meet the guy. But yeah, man, anxiety about Byond. There's so much hype going on everywhere. So much hype that the naysayers are thinking that this is No Man's Sky 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I mentioned a little bit about that on one of your previous subcasts, that I don't think it's necessary to have a No Man's Sky 2. We don't have a new Minecraft 0.2 or 2.0 or whatever, because the world is procedurally generated. The sandbox is open, and they can do or add anything that they want to the game. That it's not like a linear RPG or Skyrim or Fallout 76 or whatever. It's not closed ended, right? It's so anything that they add is just going to expand on the game that they currently have already. So is it really necessary to have a 2.0? I don't think it is. They're going to continue to build on it and improve it and enhance the game and the experience. As,
2.0 just means the number of the update.
Oh, so they're talking about version, not just
right. Yeah.
Altogether.
Yeah, this is version. This will more than likely be 2.0 because we got 3 updates coming into one, so they're just going to jump right up to 2.0.
Right, which is fine, but I mean, I'm gonna fall back on what Sean Murray had stated at the GDC. It's more important what they do than what they say. Well, what's so important about the version? I mean, is it relative? I mean, the content that comes in the DLC or the expansion that we get is what really is important. It doesn't matter what version. They can call it, 10.0 if they wanted to. It's the substance of the content in which we get.
Well, right, but the reason why there's so much hype around 2.0 is because that means it's went from one point, version 1 to version 2. Like every update after the game has been released has been 1 point something, 1 point that, 1 point this, and now we're finally going to get to version 2 of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So that means
they're looking at like a mile marker or something like that. Just
Yeah, kind of. But normally, when you get to version 2 and you look back, it's now past version 1. The game is going to be dramatically different than what it was in version 1. So version 2 should bring in the new era of No Man's Sky as far as how different it is. Now we're working on version 2, and how look how long we were in version 1. And look at what we got in version 1. So what is version 2 going to bring us in the future? So that's why a lot of people are really excited about 2.0.
Right. So you made that comment about Sam Swain's post, which I read and was, I think I reposted it on Discord. I'm not sure. Pretty sure I did. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that he said that. And Panda was making the comment about the VR trailer and how a lot of the material that we were watching in that was from Next, which I believe as well. Plus, a lot of it was CGI'd as well. But the trailer that we got initially, when they announced multiplayer online, because Sam Swain focuses and his expertise lies in procedural generation, I don't think that that's the revamped building. I think that building that ship was in is a completely new building, and I am almost willing to bet that Sam Swain had a part in putting that together as well.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Like the first little clip we got with No Man's Sky Online showed us a lot of new assets that we couldn't make out. Right. Think about that for a second. We saw a lot of new assets we couldn't make out, and then the VR trailer that we got, we recognized everything we saw in that trailer except for the cockpit.
Right.
Everything we recognize. So that is a good point. Good point, Panda. Good point, Curtis. That we probably saw the VR trailer in the next build. I want to get some more Cobras on here. We're losing some people. We've got Caffeinated Buns. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. What's on your mind today? Awesome. It's got a weird, awesome name though. Caffeinated buns. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know. I just came up with it.
Well, what's going on?
Yeah. Here to just like share my ideas on what the third update could be, because that's pretty much what I'm most excited for. I'm really excited for VR since like I have a VR headset myself here. Here.
It sounds like you're a Corvax transitioning into the echoes.
It sounds cool though.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds like you're going a little dubstep or something.
Doing this on my phone I'm actually doing this on my phone right now, so that it might not be like the best set.
Yeah, are you walking away from your Wi-Fi source?
It should be nearby, but like I think I'm pretty far away.
All right, see if we can get a little bit closer because we can't understand you, and I really want to hear what you have to say.
All right. Yeah.
You know, Cobra. I've never touched on VR at all.
Oh my God, you got to.
I don't own one. It looks interesting. I want one, and I said that if No Man's Sky launches in VR, then that would be the game that would force me to go out and buy one, and I'm going to. I'm going to own a VR headset by summer.
Well, let me say this for other people, too, that are listening. If you're going to YouTube to type in a game that is VR to see if you're interested in it, don't. Because what you're seeing them play is not what you see in the VR headset. It's different.
Right.
It's you're if you look at something like that, you're going to be like me, and I'm going to say, what doesn't look any different than what I play? So I'm not getting it. Right? And then I happened to buy one for my son's birthday, and I put it on. And I played a game called Star Child. I played a lot of games, but Star Child was one of the first. And then some kind of battle simulator where I was inside a tank cockpit. And I seen images that I didn't even think were possible to see in real life. Like, and I'm not talking about special effects. It's so weird. Like Star Child, it's a third-person VR game, which you don't think that would even work, but it does. It feels like my head was put inside a different dimension, and that my head is a giant, and that I can look around, and there's like these little spiders that are crawling all over the place, and I kept saying to myself, I kept saying out loud, saying, how did they do this? Like, how does this even possible? How does this image even exist? So, watching videos on YouTube, it doesn't work. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna have to test it.
Yeah, I could imagine it wouldn't be the same. But, and I'm excited for Hello Games. At first, it didn't really make a huge impact on me that it was coming to VR because I was like, well, I don't own a VR set. So,
right.
What am I going to get excited about that? But, on the flip side of that coin, if you think about it, this gives Hello Games an opportunity to generate more income to continue to support the game that we come to love and play.
Think about this for a second. All right, think about Hello Games here for a second. And I'm going to get to you, Caffeinated Buns. They sell the game record numbers when it launched. And then they sell more when Atlas rises. And then they release it on PC. Well, they released on PC as well, record numbers. Then they release it on Xbox. And they sold it again, right? And each update, they sell more copies. Now, here we are. They're repackaging it yet again for PlayStation. Repackaging it yet again, and it's going to sell yet again. How boss is that? To be an indie developer who was shat on by the entire gaming industry and come out as like one of the top dogs. How is that? What a success story that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I am excited for them. So the fact that they announced VR, good on them, man. That could be the wow factor to generate players that haven't had an experience.
We are being hacked by... It sounds like we're being hacked by the Gek.
Uh-oh.
Curtis, let me get to Caffeinated Buns here.
Okay.
Caffeinated Buns. All right, now I think we could hear you.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so tell me what you think number 3 could possibly be. Let's speculate on number 3.
I don't mean to elaborate with it, but
it's just not going to work. Caffeinated Buns.
I guess. Oh, it's just happening again.
Yeah. You'll have to watch back later on the stream to see what you sound like. It sounds pretty cool.
Because near my Wi-Fi spot, like my family's doing something, so I can't really get that close to it.
All right,
I don't want us to.
Okay, we'll try. Okay, go ahead and try.
Yeah. So, I guess I feel like it's going to be like an overall, I guess, a combination of all the features that people have been asking for, and yeah, that's pretty much what I think it is. It's going to be.
Well, here's my guess, and you know, I already brought it up once already, but let me bring it up again. This entire survey that we took wasn't just a survey. It was this is what we're working on. What features would you like to see most? Because we've seen everything on this list so far. Okay, so everything on this list, including stranger, more varied planets, more depth and variety to NPCs, more base building depth. I believe that's what number 3 is. Those 3 things combined. Base building, variety, and NPCs.
Pretty much my exact same thoughts there. And I guess if we're going to add in the fact that they're bringing this procedural developer onto their team, I'm hoping procedural stays too. And what I think they can do there is that they can kind of mix the NMS, like the No Man's Sky online element with that, and like maybe we can create our own cities.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. That's a good point, Caffeinated Buns. Good point. Like No Man's Sky Online, well, it's not just. Think about that for a second. A lot of people don't like multiplayer, and they say they're not interested in that. But think about what could possibly come with that. Right? It's not just, oh, hey, you can just go play with your friends. There's going to have to be things to do, guys. Right? There's going to have to be things to build, places to go, things. There's going to be game mechanics that come along with No Man's Sky Online that I think that everybody is going to be able to utilize. So it's not just online. There are going to be things that are packaged into that. New assets, new things to do with each other, or look at the things that, like, you could build a racetrack, you could race people, but you could also build a racetrack and not race anybody at all. You could play it single player. So I think that the things that we get with No Man's Sky Online, some of them, if not a lot of them, you're going to be able to use even in single player, like the assets and mechanics that come along with it. So don't think of just online as just online, because they have to pack it full of stuff that's going to make it fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, Cobra?
Yeah.
You know, with that being said, I mean, because multiplayer, you can cross that off. VR, we can now cross that off, and that was the quote unquote roadmap that we've been watching for quite some time. Now, if they add those, now there were other aspects on that roadmap that you said, well, I don't know if that would be an expansion all by itself. I don't know if that could stand alone, but so if they tied all that in and wrapped it up into one neat little package for number 3, that would complete that roadmap outside of the last option, which I believe was other. Now, we know that in the past, we've speculated about content that was coming out for No Man's Sky every time they came out with a new update. And it was a lot of hit and miss, and more misses than they were hits. And they've always delivered way more stuff than we had even imagined was going to be a part of the expansion or the DLC or whatever.
Correct.
And I'm just curious, is that even if they announce number 3, I'm almost positive we're going to get even more stuff, because they're not going to spill the beans, right? They're not going to give us
save the best for last, man.
right. And we're going to log in and we're going to experience Byond for the first time. And there's going to be stuff that wasn't even advertised or mentioned or tweeted about. And on top of that, when they finished that, even in his post, he stated that they were going to continue to work on the game for free in the foreseeable future. So, what else could he deliver?
I don't know. I think about that all the time, especially when we're near an update. I'm like, what could they possibly add to make this game cooler? We got William again on the show. William, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going?
Going pretty good. Sorry you had to wait in there so long.
That's all right. What I was thinking about is how Sean said at the GDC about how he actually reads the emails that come in.
Right.
From like the feedback emails, and it kind of shows because a lot of things that people have been asking for, like serious things, they're implementing in the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely shows. He said if you wrote about it or did anything at all, you either watched it or read it. He's paying attention. I remember one point in time, Sean Murray said he didn't pay attention.
Right.
But he has. If it was you, you'd be wanting to know what everybody was saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm hoping that in the future they give us the ability to transfer between galaxies.
I think that's coming, because it said something really tricky in there, saying that anybody in the universe, No Man's Sky Online brings them together, no matter where you are in the universe. So I think that what we kind of saw, I think might have been the portal. I think that could have been like maybe a portal to, other galaxies. We could have been looking at some kind of hub.
Because pretty much everybody, they start in Euclid and they stay in Euclid to be with a lot of the communities that are around. And I think that if they do new biomes, instead of doing a reset, just create a new galaxy and then allow people to travel to there, and they can check out those new biomes.
Very true.
So, just out of curiosity, how much of the multiplayer do you think we're going to experience? Do you think they just expanded the lobbies, or are you thinking that they've completely lifted the lobbies altogether? And
I think they've redone the whole thing, because they made such a big deal about it. Like, why would No Man's Sky Online just be bigger lobbies? There's more to it, and it's my speculation that we're going to have hub integration, hub mechanics. That.
Yep.
And I think that's what we were looking at.
Right.
Not only sorry.
The thing about No Man's Sky, it really needs sustainability, because it peaks and it has valleys and all that. Like, people come back into it when there's an update, and then they do everything they can in the update, and they do all the missions and all that, and then they leave, and then a new update comes, and then there's another peak, and you can see that in like the Steam reports and so forth.
Right.
So I'm thinking that in Byond, and with the whole multiplayer and the new like the third item, there's going to be so much more collaboration between everybody, and hubs and more things to do. Then heck, I wouldn't be surprised if at one point that they do a companion cell phone app that lets you look at your inventory or something. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of something that Stubborn Ninja sent me, which might be a troll, but I do want to bring it up just in case. And do not get excited about this, or we're not even going to really speculate too much on this. I just want to show it. It says, somebody just saw this in an email from Apple, No Man's Sky on Apple TV. Arcade, groundbreaking new games where storytelling and design are pushed further than ever, all in one gaming service unlike any other. Now, it's being reported that I guess more than one person got this email. So, yet, believe me when I say it could be fake.
I've seen that, and I think it is fake.
Yeah.
It would be cool though, because I would love to play No Man's Sky on my phone or on a tablet. I'd never get any work done, but it would be cool.
So I'm going to go on a fence and I'm not going to speculate, but I'll just give my opinion. Yeah, it could be fake.
I think it's fake, but it's worth discussion.
I was just going to say it could be equally not, and the reason why I say that is this. I think Apple is trying to get into the gaming market. Their App Store is really successful, but they're trying to compete with some of like Google and some of these others. Apple is known for their independent developers, and although I think that No Man's Sky is a AAA title, by all means, if it wasn't in the beginning, it most definitely is now.
It sure is.
But they still consider themselves as an independent team
because they are technically okay. So technically they are, but the game is so widespread and sold so many copies and is on literally everything, every platform except for like Switch and things like that. But
right,
it itself is a AAA title, but they're still an independent team.
Yep. So if we look at the title. Right. If we look at the title of No Man's Sky, and again, I said I wasn't going to speculate, but I'm going to say this one thing, just this one thing. If you look at the title, it says No Man's Sky Beyond, right? And that tells me they're doing things beyond anything that they've done before. Now they're bringing us full-blown, potentially, we don't know yet, we don't have the game, but potentially we're thinking that it's full-blown multiplayer, just like you would have in a standard MMO, right? Now we're also looking at VR, which is a new platform. Well, what if number 3 is mobile device? Bringing the game beyond anything that it's been before.
That's, oof. I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, that'd be awesome if they are on more platforms. I mean, the more the merrier, but and
keep in mind that just because that's the third, let's just say for a second that is the third option on the table, right? That is the multiplayer. Just like that doesn't MMO. That doesn't. We're also looking at VR.
You're hearing yourself, Curtis.
Dude, I sound like such a dork.
Dude, we're all dorks. What are you talking about, man? Viking Captain, can you turn that stream down just a little bit, buddy? I'll get to you as soon as Vargo's done talking here.
All right. I don't know,
thanks,
man.
So I was just going to mention, just because, let's just say for a second that they listed this as the third option that was on the table, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that we are not going to get a really beefy amount of content in the game. They're just platforming right now. They're just saying, okay, well, we're working in this, and we're working in this, and we're going to work in this. And these are the three new major focuses. But with that, when we install the game, unless he's going to do some more posts and tweets later on down the road to give us some more clues, maybe he's saving all that beefy content as a big, massive surprise when we start playing Beyond for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly how it is. Like, look, when they announced Next, we read the post, but then when we played it, there was so much more that wasn't even mentioned. It's like, wow, what? And that's with every No Man's Sky update. Like, even if they mentioned No Man's Sky Online, I bet you there's so much to that he could go on for days that we're going to be getting. And VR is just, that's just VR. It's just amazing. Who knows what else is added in with that. But, yeah, the next update might have something like some weird No Man's Sky variations or something like that. But we don't know what that means, and it'll just say, we've added variations to No Man's Sky. Please enjoy this. But we won't know what that means until we play it.
Sean gives you a taste of what's to come, but really, there's a whole vast amount of other things for you to discover on your own.
Exactly.
And that was the same with Next. We knew there's going to be multiple players, and you could see 4 or so other players, and the base building was going to get better and all that, but there was all the little tiny components that were added on that were just, it was like the icing on the cake.
I agree, buddy. I agree. Viking Captain, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Hyped to all ends, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Okay, I had a dream about No Man's Sky.
Lucky, you're lucky.
You got to play it when you weren't playing it, man.
This is the dream that I had when it first launched. If I'm correct, I can see No Man's Sky becoming a Galactic Empire video game, like Star Wars.
Felt like EVE Online.
Before No Man's Sky was released, I thought, wow, the universe is the same for everybody. It's going to have multiplayer. What's it going to be like 5 years down the road?
Yes, that's exactly what I was looking at. And I was like, if they keep adding cool stuff to this game, this is going to be the greatest space game of all time.
No, I understand that, yeah. And somebody else thought it was kind of funny. I guess Elite Dangerous named one of their updates Byond. And now No Man's Sky is naming one of their updates. I don't know. I have Elite Dangerous, but I don't play it. I don't know. I can't get out of my ship, and I want to get out of my ship. But
I tell you this.
That's why the update is space related.
I tell you this. I've been playing EVE Online for 5 years now. And I have a lot of assets and friends in that game. But when I come to No Man's Sky and I see all the beautiful colors, the planets, the ships, the things that you can do, it's mind-blowing, man. This is a beautiful game.
Yeah, it is, man. It is definitely revolutionary. I want to start packing some people on here because I don't want people not to have a chance to get on. Okay. And then we could all just talk together. We got Uber Shy Guy. What's up, buddy?
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Hold on, let me turn the... I didn't expect you to add me so soon. Let me mute the thing. All right, let's talk about Flat Earth and E3 trailers.
No Flat Earth. All right, we're taking this guy out of here.
Okay, I actually have several things, important things that I want to talk about while I'm here.
Sure.
I've been keeping notes while I was sitting in the thing. I have, well, first I want to say that this update's not going to be free. It's actually going to cost me about $500 to buy the VR headset.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, yeah, I never even considered getting a VR headset because it's incredibly expensive. And then as soon as I saw the VR update, or that they mentioned it, I was like, oh, well, I was hoping it was going to be something else, but then I started thinking, holy crap, this might actually be plausible. I might actually get a VR headset just for this game.
Dude, and think about how insane that is. We're going to spend $300 to $500 to play a $60 game, man.
Yeah, a $60 game that we bought 2 years ago.
It's so worth it, though. Like,
I'm actually excited because... Sorry to interrupt you, Cobra.
No. This is your show. You go ahead.
I'm taking the reins, buddy. Here's the deal.
Give yourself an intro. Like, come on.
Yes.
Start the show.
My name is Uber Shy Guy, coming into Georgia, and that's it. Anyway, and hopefully I have an Ethernet cord. I don't have to deal with Wi-Fi or bad microphones. Anyhow, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
You got the notes, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're the one that took the notes.
Okay.
Not doing so well for your first show.
No, this is I've been on your show before, bud. At least twice.
Yeah, I know. I remember you, buddy.
Okay,
no,
awesome.
I meant this. You know, you had an intro. This is your first show.
Oh, you're right. Hi, welcome, Cobra, to my show. Okay, on to the notes. I do have a personal project that I want to mention. I know it's not. It is about No Man's Sky, though. I'm currently working on a movie, a No Man's Sky movie. It won't exactly be. Like the focus won't be on the lore in the thing. Like I'm going to be writing my own lore within the thing, but I'm going to be using gameplay as green screen footage and all that, and we're going to have props and all that. It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
So look out for that. As for number 3 on the list, which is more pertinent to the conversation, I think it's going to be an AI update. And I have reasons to believe that as well.
Well, it's on the list.
Do what?
It's on the list. More depth and variety to NPCs?
Yes. So the reason why I say that is because somebody sent something into the Subcast chat, which was pets, I think. Like
okay.
Yeah, Sean made a tweet about being in the airport and taking his dog to the bathroom.
That's a good point. I had that pulled up so we could talk about that too.
Specific tweak. So
no, don't let the third one be pets.
yeah, I know. Make number 3 be the most benign.
No Man's
thing.
Sky, puppy pound.
I told him on Discord when I saw the picture of the bathroom. I said, "Dude, the walls look like cuboid rooms."
No.
Yeah.
I can imagine that's the third, because they're being so mysterious with this third update. The first two updates came so casually, and then the third one's being made a mystery, and it's just going to turn out to be, you can adopt a pet now.
Oh my gosh!
It just gets more and more. Okay, so here's the thing: like Sean Murray, I'm pretty sure we, as well as Sean Murray and us, however grammatically that's supposed to be, we definitely share the same concepts for what the ideal sci-fi game is. So whatever you're thinking, he's probably got it on his mind too. He's just filling out the basics right now, I'd say. And I wouldn't even call these new updates the basics, but it's going to be a massive update. I know that for sure.
We can use cell phones in No Man's Sky.
Did you have any questions for whatever?
No, just now you got me kind of worried that this third
well,
update.
Even if the update was an AI update, like that was number 3 on the list. I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot more to it than just the animals that we encounter. It's all the NPCs as well, and with it being multiplayer, maybe we'll see animated NPCs walking around in space stations so far. Maybe they'll expand on the quest logs and missions that we're getting. There's a lot more to the AI than just the pets or animals.
Hey, Cobra, how you doing?
Hey, Cogag, what's going on, man?
Hey, to inform, I just bought 2 VRs, one for my PC and one for my PlayStation, just about 20 minutes ago.
Mr. Moneybanks over here.
Yeah, like what are you, Walter White?
I have over 6,000 hours in the PlayStation. I have 1,000 hours on the PC.
Holy moly!
So
I've never played 6,000 hours in anything, and I've owned many games for 6 years.
Well, I'm day one. So on the PlayStation, I was day one on the PlayStation.
Okay, so what I'm wondering is how you have a job and have 6,000 hours in No Man's Sky.
That's 2 years of playing.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
almost 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Well, I've been playing. Well, I've been playing Division for the past 2 weeks, so I'll admit to that.
Did you buy your year season pass with that?
Yes, I did.
Good on you, I guess.
I guess.
Well, I have a good. Well, I just got done with my driving job, so I'm about to go home. So I do have a good paying job. So it's like, if I have the money, and plus I get points buying off Amazon. So I bought 2 VR sets, the PlayStation, and I bought the HTZ Hive. There's 2 versions, the Hive and the Oculus, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You bought both?
No, I just bought the Hive.
Oh, I was going to say, like, I bought both the HD and the Oculus and the PSVR.
This man's sitting on a throne of gold bars.
I stopped by NASA and I got me a holodeck. I'm ready to go!
Well, the reason I bought the Hive is because it fits perfect for glasses. Because I wear glasses, and I heard the other one doesn't do really well with glasses. So that was my reason I bought the Hive.
I can't see without my glasses.
Now? Thanks! I'm blind as a bat as it is.
Man spent 6,000 hours on a game he can't see.
Well, I'll admit, I say the PC has better graphics. My personal opinion for the PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the hardware that's in your PC.
Yeah, well, because I have a Ryzen 7 2700, the high end for AMD, so I have a 104 hertz monitor, so everything is high end. So I have it full auto everything on my PC, and I lean toward the PC better more than my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't even own a PS4.
well, I have a PS Pro. I have a Pro for a PS.
Oh, jeez, you got like top end everything.
Well, I have the Switch. I have the Switch. I have the Xbox, the high end Xbox.
Where do you live? At Best Buy?
I think he lives in Dubai.
I don't know.
He lives at the Electronics Expo.
Well, that's good. I live in Orange County, California, so.
Wow.
So
Can you adopt?
The key here is that he is actually homeless and spends all his money on technology.
I would do the same thing.
Well, I have to stream for a special
Everything's
group.
in the van, guys.
Yeah. Well, like Cobra, I told you a long time ago, I stream for like private groups, like church groups.
Oh yeah.
To see if they, So I stream on private streams, so church pastors, youth pastors can see if they like the game or not. And I've been getting a lot of info, like, hey, how's this game on VR? I'm like, I don't know. So it's like,
we got a guest on the show. We got Land of Shadows NMSA.
This guy.
Yeah.
Hello there, chum.
What's up, chum? How you doing, chum? You can make that an insult if you just add a P at the end of it.
Oh, don't call me some kind of a chump, all right?
What's on your mind, buddy? It's good to have you on the show again.
Yeah, thank you very much. On my mind is the tweet of Sean Murray's. So he put up the word fractal.
Turn you down, Con.
Now, I don't see how fractal relates to the VR. So I'm wondering whether fractal is actually a hint to drop 3. Now, fractals are algorithms. So the way trees are made is based on a fractal. So as it branches off in a V shape, you'd look down the branch and there'd be another V shape. So I'm wondering whether we're going to actually get procedural generation.
Fractal might be a hint toward the new IP there.
Oh, well, did you see
wait, where did he... Okay, hold on. I got a couple questions. One, are you standing on a freeway?
No, that's Kogag. He works on trucks.
Oh, okay.
He has to go on mute.
The second question is...
I'm muting myself. I'm muting.
The second question is, where is it that he tweeted Fractal?
Fractal? On Twitter?
Yeah, and it was like it almost looked like a snowflake that repeated itself as you zoomed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. And he said redefining gaming was his tweet, and it came out exactly when the VR trailer came out on PlayStation.
Yeah, but it was also shortly after the GDC. And I believe he had already announced at that point that they were working on a new IP. That's why I speculate if that wasn't a hint more toward their new IP as opposed to necessarily No Man's Sky. Because their new IP is supposed to be procedural generated as well.
Well, I used to have a rendering package called Vista Pro on the old Amiga, and that used fractals to create landscapes. And I'm wondering whether they're going to be using fractal algorithms on planets to try and make them more diverse. So I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more diversity. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Dude, you're way smarter than I am. I don't even know what that means, so we'll just go with that.
That's just the deal. I doubt there's going to be just 3 things that they're adding. I think the list format is just for hype, and they're going to add actually much more than just 3 things and then subsets of those 3 things.
Yeah, because I think that the things that they have announced up to date has been substantial. You know,
Well,
I think they were major focal points of the new Byond game that we get. But you're right. There's probably a lot that we're not getting.
Sorry, what?
No, I was just gonna say the 2 things that they've had stated already have been substantial, right? They've been making focal points. But you're probably right. There's
beyond my expectations, you could say.
Right. But they're probably going to add a lot more, just like you said, that we're not going to hear about until we actually get to experience it.
Mm-hmm. No Man's Sky is always about, or Sean Murray, all those people are always about making this big. They're really good at garnering hype. I don't know how they do it, but if you think about it, the name Next, all of us know that the next update, the next, not like the next one, but the update named Next was so big. And the title in and of itself is interesting because the name Byond is a lot less humble than Next. So perhaps they're making it even more ridiculous than Next.
Well, something that I think is being overlooked as well is also the Byond title. It was bright red, and it had this very eerie sort of sound in the background, and those dots that appeared at the end, and almost a sentinel-type sound that you heard there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that brings up another idea of mine that I had. It's a bit of a pie in the sky idea, but I think that number 3 could be like a war update.
That's exactly what I was alluding to or getting to. Yes.
So,
yeah, just an overhaul in combat would be awesome.
Okay, imagine those little Gek
Battle Royale.
Yes, the first spawn.
No, yes, the first spawn. Yes, imagine. Okay, so you remember them running around. I would love to see the Geks and the Korvax and the Viking, all of the races, running around on the planets. And every once in a while, I would love to see a war going on where there's two fighting sides, and you can either join one side and get higher rep in that side, or vice versa with the other side. And that would be the scale could be ridiculous. It could be just a tiny, like a small faction fight, or it could be an intergalactic battle where there's the ship flying overhead with the laser bolts firing into space and the explosions and the entire freighters crashing on the planets. Like, that would be awesome to see.
I was thinking more of like a rift within inside the dimensions, and maybe they mentioned the red foam or something like that when you went to the abandoned buildings, and I was hoping to see more aggressive sentinels. Look, I mean, we've seen some aggressive sentinels when you dig up those weird satellites and junk and things. Salvage tech.
Yeah, you've got
bipedal sentinels. Yeah,
right,
yeah, you have got some aggressive sentinels, but I want to see even more, like actual bipedals, like something out of the Terminator.
Yeah,
right.
the AT-AT ones.
If you think about it, you're onto something, because, well, number one, the red background, that alludes to danger, and the sentinels and the sounds and stuff, it's a lot of threat, right? It's real ominous. And if they did overall combat, or warring factions, if you will, maybe the whole idea behind the multiplayer gameplay is to get groups of communities or hubs, like you said, and maybe those portals aren't necessarily for other galaxies, but maybe they take you into like instance-based star systems where these wars are taking place. So it's like it's like a hub where you guys can commune and group into, and then take off and go through this portal and teleport you to another star system where these wars are taking place, and you guys as a group of friends can participate.
I definitely think that there's. I'm sorry. What?
I was thinking, what? The aim of No Man's Sky is to get to the center of the galaxy. Yeah. But if you head the opposite direction to the outer fringes, perhaps that's where the corruption is. Perhaps that's where all these aggressive sentinels are. That'd be sweet. So if you've got the option to go and battle, yes, so you've got the option to go and battle them if you want. Mm-hmm. But
that'd be. Oh man, that got me just so hyped. You got to be careful, Land of Shadows. Be careful. All right.
Don't get them too hyped.
Imagine if these sentinels, the actual rings, started to collapse inwards a little bit, so they start heading inwards towards the center and slowly come across your bases and things. It'd be cool if you could have base turrets and defense systems, but then I think No Man's Sky will start to lose its sort of general vibe and relaxation feel. I think there should be the option to go to the outer fringes and battle. So I don't know whether that last idea is a good one.
In the lore, does it mention about the Sentinels replicating themselves or building themselves?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does it talk about that? So what if we start seeing different variations of Sentinels outside of just the scouts, the dogs, and the walkers? What if we
imagine if they start kidnapping races and sort of like assimilating them like the Borg?
Well, we have the corrupted Sentinels already, and they're kind of like a darker version of the Scouts. Of what the Scouts are, all kind of twisted and black looking. But yeah, I mean, if the Sentinels were replicating themselves, and then maybe there was some corruption, what if they started building different variations of itself?
This is getting good.
Yeah, I mean, THDTI Incorporated says we won't get any of those things. We speculated this stuff before, and it never came. I think he's talking about what I got on the screen, and the reason why I brought it up is because of the pet hint that Sean Murray tweeted out. A lot of people are thinking that maybe this is because pets are going to be in the third installment. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, if I was in a hotel and I saw a pet restroom, I would definitely take a picture and tweet it out too, because that's just, I've never seen anything like that. But I did bring up the data mine food files, because if that is true and people are speculating that there's pets in this update, then that could be possibly what this food is going to be for. It's not for us to eat, but it's to feed the pets if you choose to get one or not. So that's the reason why I brought it up. But, we speculated a lot of things before, and we haven't gotten them. But we also speculated third person. We've also speculated VR before. We've speculated a lot of stuff before. And there's a reason why we speculated it, because it seems common sense that it's going to be added to the game. And what we've noticed is it does eventually get added to the game. Things that we do speculate, and that may be because it's common sense that they would add it, or that what Sean Murray said is he listens, and I know for a fact, I've been told that they've listened to the show in the past, and they all listen to us sing Happy Birthday during Atlas Rises and things like that. So I guarantee you that your voices, your ideas, your opinions have been heard on this channel before. So it's important that we have these kinds of conversations and that we speculate and we wish and we want for certain things, because like Sean Murray said, he uses that as data to push the game into the direction that the fans want. That Reddit, Twitter, the Zendesk, things like that. So it's good to bring up these things. They did do a lot of work on these food files. It could mean something with pets. I think it's just Sean Murray just taking a really weird picture of a dog restroom.
do not underestimate Hello Games. I mean, I remember when we were first talking about base building, people were saying that would never happen. Base building could never happen. They would have to rewrite the entire game, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Base building happened. But I don't think pets is going to be number 3, because it's not... It'll be one of those little things that we discover that we can do, but it's not going to make that top 3 of that list.
Right.
Yeah, and pets is quite a small thing, where these have been overarching things. Like you were saying earlier, when me and you were just in the chat earlier, Uber Shy Guy, we was having a little conversation, and that you actually said exactly what I was just saying then. I kind of nicked your thunder there slightly.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll get you back.
No, I agree with you, Cobra. I think our community is just one big massive think tank, and a lot of the
Sean Murray feeds off of it.
Well, yeah, well, it's good though. I mean, it really is, because that's where all your creativity comes from. And he may not do exactly what we want, but the things that he does do, they'll do in there and they'll implement in their own way.
Right.
I think it's awesome.
THD is also saying a couple more things, saying how many times have we speculated a real ending or a true center story, and it never came. He's not trying to be a downer. He says, I think we need to keep things in check. If you go back and listen to everything that Sean Murray said, he said that there's something drawing you to the center, and that something drawing you to the center was the light, and that there's something at the center. And even back before the game released, we did a lot of center videos, like what was at the center. And the consensus that we all, not all of us, but the majority of the people that were commenting were saying that they believed that the center was a way to get to another galaxy, which you guys were right. That's exactly what we got. And reason why we got to that is because Sean Murray said that the center was going to be, once you got there, people will feel like they can put the gamepad down, that boom, I beat the game, and other people will see that there's a reason to keep on playing. And that tells me that it's right. You got to the center, you're done, it has kind of like a little ending to it, but other people will be like, ooh, another galaxy, let me keep playing. So that is, the people who were asking, always Sean Murray saying, hey, what's at the center? And he said Peter Molyneux, which I think is kind of funny.
I'm glad you picked that comment. That's a turtle humping thunder duck. He's a really good guy, that guy. Oh,
no, he's great. He's a Cobro.
And the game's evolving, though. It's nothing like what was released 2 years. I mean, if you were to ask Sean Murray 2 years ago, what do you think? Do you think that you would add base building into the game, or third-person view, or whatever? He would probably say that that's not that kind of game.
Hey, Cobra.
So, yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, man, but unfortunately I've been doing this while I was at work, so I got to go, buddy.
Oh, okay, man. Don't want to get you in trouble.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye, Curtis.
Yeah. Could you go back to that food thing, Cobra?
Yeah, sure. All right. It'll take a few seconds, but it'll be on the screen.
I think that what's the guy's name of the guy who's doing the cities and stuff? Like that's what he will.
Oh, we got
procedural generated cities.
Hold on, we got somebody.
Caffeinated buns.
Oh, he was already in this thing.
Okay,
I turned it down a little bit. Corvax.
Oh, I turned him down too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's turned down on the stream. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of data. You know, I mean, whoever made this at Hello Games, they put a lot of work into it.
So if this is ending up in the new update, I think that there's going to be a massive... There's so many different things it could mean. Like, with the creative mode in Minecraft, you know how you could open up a menu, you could see everything. I can imagine that they are adding so many new things, like new items, that they might follow that same model. But what I was getting at with the city generation guy, I feel like two things that they could definitely add into the game that would be beneficial are hub planets, which are city planets, basically. And it would just be a full, like, Coruscant-esque, if you've seen Star Citizen gameplay of the cities, like, planets like that are procedurally generated, not to be wild planets, basically. And then the second kind would be replication plants for the Sentinels, which are, like, the hubs. And then from there, you could do, like, boss enemies. That would be really cool, too. Like, imagine, like, a giant mech quadruped spider bot that's a boss Sentinel.
True. You know, and I keep seeing things in the chat like, you know, that VR is amazing, but they need to add other things. I get that, and I know I get that, but you know, people are prematurely saying that before they know what 3 is.
I think that's like kind of funny because usually we're like, holy crap, they added chicken wings. This new update is going to be insane. Now it's like, oh, VR? Let's wait until the update comes out to get excited.
I remember when people kept asking for ringed planets, and that was like the biggest hang up is that there were no ringed planets. And now that we have ringed planets, I feel everybody wants something more, and you know, they want unicorns that fart rainbows or whatever.
That's not.
And I mean, there's some stuff that makes sense, but some stuff makes total nonsense. So
I think they're gonna figure out how to do all of the things. Not all of the things, but like
the reasonable
things.
Yeah.
Like
I think everything on that list is going to be in 3. The rest of it.
Everything,
you know?
on the list?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we see a pattern of behavior here as far as the updates go, as far as what they're working on, and it seems like this is what they had on their dinner plate there at the studio. So I think, you know, we're going to see the NPCs in number 3 get more varied and more depth into them, and I think we're also going to see more base building depth and stranger, more varied planets and things like that. So I think that this is the cap off here. This list.
I don't think that they're out of ideas, but I could just about bet in the fall there will be another survey with more ideas from Hello Games on what direction to take. I really do, because there's no way that they're done with this game.
No.
It's going to keep going.
Yeah,
so
it is. And I know people disagree with me, but he softly announced that they're working on something new. People disagree with me on that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think people disagree with me is because the statement that he made is so powerful, people really want to connect that with No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stand firm. And you know what? I won't be able to prove it because they're not going to mention that again for at least another year. Right. You know, they're not going to make the same mistake they did with No Man's Sky. He's not going to go on a bunch of interviews. They're not going to show a trailer too soon. They're not going
to bring him on the Stephen Colbert show.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that was really weird, wasn't it? But
that was the strangest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah,
it has
me
never
too.
been done with any other game.
I agree. I do agree. That was weird. But I don't think that we're going to see a trailer until they're mostly done with whatever they're working on. But it is what it is. I'm fine. But with this update, I think people are just jumping the gun and saying don't add VR because we don't know what number 3 is. So let's wait. Right. And I don't think we're gonna have to wait too long to figure out what number 3 is because it was a week from the announcement of No Man's Sky Online to No Man's Sky VR, right? A week.
Yep. Really? So next week we should hear another something else.
That's
right.
Presumptuous.
And as we could see, Sean Murray's not home. He's somewhere where dogs can use the restroom.
That is true. He's traveling. Wait, wasn't that? What about this GDC 2019 thing? When did that happen?
Oh, that happened a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So this was before he even announced the Byond update.
Right.
Something that got mentioned on my stream earlier tonight was
not before.
Monstrosities. By the abandoned buildings, you've got all the eggs, and the monstrosities hatch out of them.
Yes.
Well, they're the babies. Something's got to lay those eggs. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice to see the mother alien or the
once again
the
going back to
alien.
the boss enemy thing. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. But also, somebody else mentioned about
that's what the big snake could
base.
come in too. Not to bring up old stuff from the E3 trailers, but I think
he said not to bring up old stuff, but
I'll bring up old
what
stuff.
about them sandworms?
But I love the sandworms. That's so freaking cool.
They said that they had the sandworms, but it didn't make sense.
No,
to have it in there. But I think that would be amazing to have a boss in the game. 20 plus people work together to conquer it, and then you get some sort of reward.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
gives you way
amazing.
Too much carbon.
Yeah.
No, something greater.
A sword.
Or something to spice up your ship or something like that. Some flair.
I hope that they update the inventory system because I would say that's pretty clunky currently. It's just it just feels plasticky, if that makes sense. You have to wait a second to move items around with Minecraft. I know there's comparisons with Minecraft are annoying, but you could just click, right click. It's like the fastest thing in the world. And I want there to be one screen where you can access all 3 inventories at once rather than switching, because they're really good at polishing the game, but it's almost so polished that it feels it just needs
version 1 of the game. We had to drag and drop stuff to other things, and now we have you just hit triangle and it goes to your ship or whatever.
That's right. It's gotten better. I'm just saying. I would want an inventory system. You press a button, it just goes wow. It's quick. I want it.
Yeah,
to be quick.
Yeah, I agree with you. We got a caller on that I've wanted on here for a long time. Dave Langer, how are you, buddy?
Dave Langer.
Dave Langer. Oh, mate, he's gone.
And he's gone.
Wow.
That's really funny.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, Dave.
Here's a guy I've wanted to have on this show for such a long time, and he's gone. That's really funny. I hope he comes back.
Blinking, you miss him.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
We should just pretend that he had a lot to say.
Yeah, he
I went to
probably
scroll
did.
up to see where he was, and he had gone.
All right. I ain't missing anything, did I?
No. We're actually getting ready to wind things up here. Number 3, guys, for people out there that are like, I don't want to play with people. I like being by myself, and I don't have a VR, or I don't want a VR, or I can't get one. Just wait. Number 3 is he's saving the best for last. It's going to be, the grand finale. We got Dave Langer's just come back. Let me see if I can get him on before we end it. Dave, what's up, buddy?
I like being by myself. Dave! I don't have a VR.
Uh-oh.
I don't want a VR.
Dave, mute the stream.
All right, there we go. My bad.
What's up, Dave? How you doing?
My phone died. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to have you on the show, man.
Oh, thank you. For the base building stuff, If you go back to the datamine files.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. Let me go back here and look at that. There is, let's see, where is that? It's down a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for base building, like base turrets and fences, and like power generation and things like that. Yeah.
So maybe they'll do stuff like tower defense for the base building.
That would be really cool. Tower defense in first person or third person.
I can imagine waves of enemies coming and attacking your house.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. That would be cool, like planetary events.
That would be cool, Dave. And I'm glad you're on the call, Dave. Dave, you were a little upset on Twitter about VR being added, and you think they should add more stuff
to the game.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
go ahead and talk about that.
I mean, if Tier 3 adds all that stuff that we're talking about now, then that should be fine. But like, if they don't add like more stuff to do in the game, then you're playing VR with nothing to do in the game.
No, and I totally agree with you. And I was disappointed when I saw the VR trailer and I saw one of those animals on a trailer, and I've seen that animal before in my game. And I'm like, no, it needs variation. Please let this be a trick. Please let this be VR showing in next.
Yeah, my whole point on Twitter was if they did do VR before variation, it's a waste of their time to add VR before that.
That means that they were probably working on VR way before the Byond update decided to come around. Because they
probably
must have a build of next, or even before that, maybe probably just next.
Yeah,
of testing the VR.
And that's why I hope the VR trailer is the next update and not the current update.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. 100% agree with you. I think the biggest thing that the game needs, VR is cool and I'm going to enjoy it, even if nothing else is added, because VR just makes it feel like you're really there. And it's not just a screen in front of your eyes. It's 3D. Like it really looks like things are in front and the foreground. It's amazing with the headphones on and everything like that. So I'm going to enjoy it. But the biggest thing that I want is I want more variation to the planets and to the fauna and to the to the flora and things like that. I want variation.
I definitely want to see gas giant planets where you have to fly in and land on floating islands.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Hey guys.
Howdy, bud.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. What do you guys think about artifacts? Like certain unique items that other players can find that other players don't have. Stuff like that.
Like artifacts and stuff, but you don't just sell them.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they could take what they already have in the game, like the artifacts, and you could use them as decorations for your house.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Like all those plants.
Peaceful Gamer in the chat says they've been working on VR before launch in 2016 and likely hired people to work on VR. He says people need to calm down about them wasting time with VR. No, here's the thing. Like I made videos back in 2014 and 2015 showing proof that they had it was known back then as Project Morpheus and PSVR. They had it was all over the studio, and I showed pictures where it was constantly getting moved. And I back then I said, "Hey guys, they're working on VR," and so they and also Sean Murray said that they had it working. It was I think an interview with Ryan, the long interview with IGN. Yeah, and he announced that they had it working in a rudimentary way. But he wasn't sure where the market for VR was going, and he hoped it wasn't going to be like some gimmick. And so they have been working with it for a very, very, very long time.
It got data mined too, right?
What's that?
Earlier, it got data mined too a couple of years ago, right?
I don't know. Did it?
I think it did.
Huh. But yeah, Dave, I'm with you, buddy. I agree with you. But I think that 3, if 3 comes out to be the food or just pets or
I doubt it.
Something like that, then yeah, then wow, it's people. Yeah, I'll agree with him. But but I think he's saving the best for last. And I think before people get upset, I think we just need to wait and see what 3 is.
Can I say something here, Cobra?
Hang on, let me turn you up. You're really, really low. This is the dad of No Man's Sky here.
I'm really, really low. Is better?
I got you. You're up.
Okay, so I just want to keep people to remind themselves, and whenever an update comes out, there is like panic. There are pros, there are cons. People think, but I want to that people keep in their mind they could have run away with their money after their terrible launch happened. They could have said, this is it. We're gonna run away. They didn't. They kept on pushing out free updates. So I think that's just important to keep that in mind. Whatever comes, they're just updating this game with free updates for everyone, and that's sometimes what people try to forget for some reason.
Right, or
So
they could have treated it just like the AAA market, where they sell fully polished, unfinished games and charge you the rest later.
Exactly, and they don't do that. They're working for this, and I know I don't have VR yet. It's gonna cost me a lot, but I'm happy that's coming VR. That will be awesome. Well, the online aspect, me, I don't really care about online. I'm more of a solo player, so I
don't
also
know.
hoping
We don't know what it means, though.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna bring.
Can I say something real quick? What's up, guys? It's been a long time. I just want to hop in because I'm super excited about VR, but. Have they even mentioned that VR was the second string, or was it just part of the PlayStation update? They never said it was number 2.
No, they did. They did on the official website.
Yeah, Sean.
Oh, okay.
Sean also tweeted it out too.
I'll shut up.
And it's really strange how Sean tweeted it out. It says he updated the tweet. Well, you can't edit a tweet, right? But what's funny is it says with 3 updates in one being No Man's Sky Online, 2 being No Man's Sky Virtual Reality, and 3 is still a question mark. But he also made his typo again. We're working out butts off on something special.
So I don't know about all that. I just wanted to ask because I didn't.
Why would he make the same mistake twice?
Yeah, Cobra. I feel the same way. Hey, it's Ivy, by the way.
Hey, Ivy.
What's going on, guys? I just got my Oculus hooked up. I haven't plugged it in 2 years, and I bought the controllers, the touch controllers, and it's come a long way since I first plugged this thing in 2 years ago. It's something else.
Oh yeah, man. I tell you what, when I first put it on, I was sold. Like, I realized how hard it is to sell VR to people, because I looked at people's videos and I thought, I'm not buying it. And then when I bought it for my son because he begged me. He goes, he's like, I really want it. I'm like, it's expensive. He goes, why are we so poor? And I'm like, we're not. It's just really expensive. And,
I was just in a game and I was able to take my gun, toss it in the air from one hand, and catch it in the other hand, and then shoot the enemy. I mean, it's flawlessly. It's just out of this world.
And Ivy Mike, just for you, go check out Lone Echo.
Lone Echo, all right.
Lone Echo VR. I watched like somebody's video for 2 hours yesterday, and I was amazed. It's like zero gravity, and it's like you're in a movie. It's like incredible.
It's so amazing, so amazing. Dark. It's official. So we're just waiting on pins and needles, Dark, for what number 3 could possibly be.
Yeah, no big deal. I've been working a lot the last few months, and I didn't catch that last part. I check the subreddit every now and then I saw the VR thing, and then I haven't stopped talking about it since then.
I know, man. I know, me too.
Like, I was just like, finally my VR headset will be used for something.
I know.
Cobra.
I see the negative stuff, but I also want the only thing I've really played with VR is either Beat Saber or Resident Evil 7, and then it's just sat there. And so I'm really excited about this.
Plus, you'll have Dreams coming out too.
Oh yeah, and Dreams
VR.
Yeah.
I'm still iffy about that though. I'm like just kind of like, all right, let's just wait, calm my hype,
Yeah. Reckoner VR in the chat saying VR is not just a screen on your face, it places you inside the game. That cannot be more true. but it's the hardest thing to tell people that who have not seen it. So here's my advice: find somebody that you know that has one, or find a store that's got it on display, and then go try it out. That is the only way to sell VR.
How much is it?
Don't get pink eye.
Yeah, watch out for bring some handy wipes with you.
So guys, I know I joined late
Some
in
wet
the show,
ones.
and there might be some speculation already about the third update. But have you guys talked about what I think is coming? Because I see that as the online version what comes, and they say that there will be a lot of similarities to a normal online gameplay. What is the most important thing that people want to do in online games? They want to show off. So customization, I think that this is going to be 100% a thing, to customize your ships or whatever, because people want to show off. So I think that it's already possible for your exocraft. So why not for your ship? So that I think that's one thing that's probably coming.
I think it's going to have a lot of hub mechanics. Because one of the things that people are doing is they're building these hubs, and when you get together, you can't really see everybody, and there's a lot of problems with trying to build a community or a hub in this universe, and I think that's missing, and I really think that hubs are going to be a big thing. We thought that with Next, and they kind of got close to that, but I think that was just a stepping stone.
I think I know what number 3 is going to be.
What's that?
It's not going to be any one specific thing. It's going to be the trailer, and it's going to be like 1, 2, and then it says 3, and then 3 is actually just a video of the update.
You think so?
That would be a cool twist, I think, because they already posted one trailer and it had almost nothing in it. But then imagine for number 3, they just post the actual teaser trailer, because knowing them, they're probably gonna put out the update toward the end of summer. I hope it's toward the
Probably August, is my guess.
Yeah, August is literally when school starts again. And
I mean, they wouldn't tell us. They wouldn't tell us that there's 3 updates in one, and then not have one of the 3 be an update or an actual part of the game. I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong.
Or, well, yeah, maybe. I'm thinking.
Well, Smurf has a really good comment. He donated to the super chat. Thank you so much, Smurf. Says top 3, not only thing an update, just a selling point. That's a good point. And thank you, Marcel Bars, for the super chat as well. Thank you.
I'm definitely thinking it's going to be NPC based and world based, like updating
Variation.
Yeah, variation, but not just variation, but also have NPCs moving around. Maybe
Oh right,
I think I don't know. That's the one thing that's on the list that they haven't really addressed in any of the other updates.
So there's going to be more stuff other than this top 3 count before the update actually comes out.
I would like to think Ivy Mike's right there, but at the same time, the Byond title image, as I pointed out, with the red and the Sentinel type sound effects, I think we're going to see something coming from the Byond, from the other realm. That is my guess. So I'm hoping for a massive, great big story expansion.
That would be nice.
Is that game mode? What's going on, game mode? I agree.
No,
that would be sick. Oh no, who is that?
That's the guy that it's Landers Shadows NMSA, the one that always goes, "Well, how you doing, chum?"
Oh, gotcha. Good deal. Sorry, to confuse the accent.
We're both called Steve, and we're both from the UK. In fact, I was talking to him the other day. He was only in Birmingham, up the road from me. So yeah, you may as well get us mistaken.
Yeah.
One thing they really need though is dedicated servers.
True, very true. But we don't know how they're going to see. There's the way people are doing online is changing. Like with Amazon Lumberyard, they're that's just one to mention. But there's a couple others that are not coming to my mind right now that offer thousands of people in an instance. And Dual Universe is using that technology. Identity was going to utilize it, but I don't know how. I don't know.
They should.
Go ahead.
They should do it the way they do it for Elite Dangerous. Be like always connected.
But then, well,
that way you can't like cheat for online and like reload, save, get stuff back if you die.
Right.
That is a good point to bring up. How could we have those people who just want to have a single player experience and then also prevent cheating for the people who want to play multiplayer.
See, that's the thing. That's my only complaint about No Man's Sky. The way you can jump. Well, you can turn it off. You can turn off the allow people to randomly jump into your game. But I feel like that feature is just crap to me because this should be in a universe where you can't just jump in on some random person's game.
Right.
That you have to literally go out and seek them. So the people that want to play this as a single player can literally play in the same online universe as everybody else, but be by themselves because they are in the far reaches of nowhere by themselves.
Right. That's how Elite does it. They have like solo mode, then they have like open, which is everybody, then they have like your friends, like, that you can see. So if they do it that way, I think that might work the best.
I think that the random joining thing should be only for if you want to join your friends quickly, not just because I was really excited when somebody showed up on my planet, and then I realized that there's literally a button that takes you straight to any random person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that broke the game, in my opinion. They should take that out, drop in.
Well, that's just the thing. Like that was the mystery from the beginning of the game. Is if you find somebody, you just literally found a needle in a haystack.
Right.
The size of the universe, and now it's like, here's a needle.
If they made it so it was only with your friends, and the only people you could join up with were people you knew, and I like the way it takes you back to where you started. You can't, after you leave that party, you go back to whatever universe or whatever planet you were originally on. If when you leave that mode, but the random person is what kills it. Joining on random people.
Yep.
Right.
I kind of enjoy that though. I sometimes go and find a newbie and give them like 1 billion units to help them get started. And then people lights them up. They love it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but people don't really travel anymore because they drop in.
I was given 1 billion units on a new save when that started, and I was so happy when I got that 1 billion units. So they gave me a bunch of fusion reactors or whatever it was. But you know what? 3 months later, I was like, man, I didn't have to grind at all for anything. For and I have everything now, and I didn't have to actually earn any money, and it kind of ruined the experience of that playthrough.
Right.
Yep.
I think that the economy needs to be refreshed as well. If there's going to be a universe refresh, then
I really hope there is.
Because people they kind of ruin the game for themselves just because they can buy their way through the entire update.
Right. They should make a start over again for the update for online.
At least with.
Man, I feel like an evil Santa now. Thank you, guys.
No, I do.
No harm.
Ford Perfect 4D2. Yeah, the reason why is because we're at the end of the stream. All right, final thoughts, everybody.
Final thoughts.
Hey, Cobra's still here. I've been kind of lurking in the background.
Phil, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Phil.
How you doing, guys? I was just a quick one at the end of the show. I just want more stuff to do in space.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
I agree.
Space rails.
Play around. Yeah. Maybe just having some kind of like little Easter eggs hidden out there that you might discover if you fly away from planets and you don't just kind of jump between them.
That brings up another point. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited again. Okay, so things in space. Think perhaps there's the ship customization coincides with space garages where you land in space and they're little like shacks where you go and talk to a guy and he customizes your ship and then you can launch back out into space.
That'd be pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
Imagine these asteroids that are actually a guy who put an engine in a rock and then built a pad for you to land on and then customize your ship. That would be cool.
That really would.
And mining vessels around all those asteroids would be nice, and some abandoned freighters.
Abandoned freighters in space?
Yeah, that you can salvage. That'd be awesome.
He's like, that you can salvage. I agree with you. That'd be really cool.
Or make our own too would be good.
There are a lot of remnants of war, but I would like to see the war itself.
Yeah.
Like the crashed freighters. Where did they come from? Like who crashed them? What happened? And then every time you go up into one of those red orb things and it tells you what happens, it's pretty much the same thing every time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So the final thing I would like to look for. So the rocks that you shoot and they hop out and they run away from you. Yeah, I've still never seen one. And that's what I want.
Same here.
More things like that are super rare that are like are going to surprise you even 6 months later after the update comes out. That I feel like is what's needed. You need those things that are not going to happen every time. You're not going to be able to find that type of planet you want.
Very true. Yeah.
And that Ivy mic, I want to see that with trees, so you can shout, "Run, Forest, run!" You forest runs away.
Jess Garcia says number 3 will be the removal of space legs and gifted to Elite.
What? That's bad.
That would sure help Elite, that's for sure. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it down. I want to thank everybody for coming on the show tonight. You guys have been amazing guests.
Hello, Cobra.
Hey, Santa Rose, how you doing, buddy?
I was listening the whole time.
Yeah, I noticed that you're there, man. It's always a pleasure having you on the show, bro. Sure. And everybody in the chat that came out, I would like to thank you so much for coming out and being active in the chat and bringing up some really good ideas and things like that. As far as doing the show every daily, we'll work on that. I'll see what I could do to shift around some of my scheduling and things like that. Yeah.
Will we have a let's play of you, Cobra, when the new update comes out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, except for I'm going to be...
VR.
You know, when Xbox players or someone without a VR, when they come across and explore, you're going to know who's on VR. Because the person that he's not going to be walking. You're going to see the head just looking around. And if he's on mic, you're going to hear him say, "Wow! Oh my gosh! Wow!" You're just going to know someone's on VR.
I'm working on my dance moves with my move controllers.
There you go. All right, guys. Everyone have a good day, rest of your day, or tomorrow, whatever it is for wherever you are, and stay safe, everybody.
Yep, take care, right?
Tomorrow now. Good night.
I had a great time.
Make sure to subscribe to Uber Shy Guy.
Yeah, subscribe to Uber Shy Guy.
That's what we need to
subscribe to Chewy Pie.
Hey, remember, guys, if you have a YouTube channel, you're allowed to, in my chat, say, "Hey, subscribe to me. I upload videos." So
I've got one of those.
This is an NMSA. Sure, do that. The chat's there for you guys. The Subcast are for you to have a voice to come on and talk and say whatever you want to say. So the Subcast are all built around the community. That's all this is where the community can get together and have conversation and connect the dots. We are a constellation, so let's connect those dots even further by subscribing to some of our friends that we see in the chat. So if you do upload, make sure people know that you upload.
I just posted 2 ship concepts for my movie, by the way.
You're making a movie?
Where'd you post it?
In the public chat.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, everybody, have a good night. Love you guys. See you later.
Thank you so much.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Cobra.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.